Hey guys, Sauniche here with some Heroes of the Storm action for you. This is the third game of the Titan Arena Finals between Tempo Storm and Maelstrom. Cloud9 Maelstrom, that is. So we're going to bring up our teams here, do a quick introduction. In the blue team, we have Tempo Storm, Arthalon playing Lost Vikings, KO playing Tassadar, Dreadnought playing Brightwing, Soldier playing Stitches, and Glarung playing Nazeebo. And here on Maelstrom, we have Dunk Train playing Rhaegar, Biceps playing Uther, iDream playing Sonya, K1 Pro playing Vala, and King Caffeine playing ETC. A little bit of an interesting composition. I'm guessing that they tried to get Illidan, or were planning on Illidan, but he got banned at the beginning. That's usually what you see with Rhaegar-Uther combination. And this is just an absolutely devastating dual support combination. Can keep people alive very, very easily. Sonya is in here for a little bit of damage, a little bit more sustained damage versus Brightwing, who is the sustained heal. Tassadar does have a bit of a burst heal with his shield if he uses it preemptively. So we're going to see what is going on here. This is game 3 of Titan Arena. As I was saying, this finals are a best of 5, so it is now guaranteed to go to a game 4 as both teams need 2 wins to win. And we'll see what ends up happening. Looks like Maelstrom is pinging the smiley face. I don't know if they're in a charge up there. Looks like Rhaegar Dunk Train here is peeling off towards the bottom. So we have Shot of Fury. Nice little Fury dump and Fury boost right there for iDream. We have Bribe from Brightwing. Chew your food from out of Stitches. That's an interesting one that typically you'll see the Regeneration Master or the Slam talent to help that out. I think he's doing that because they don't have as much burst healing as their opponents. They actually have very little burst healing. Looks like Maelstrom is going up here, trying to hide in the bushes, get a kill off. We'll see how the that first poor little Viking goes up there and just gets completely hammered. So we'll see how they decide to split those Vikings up. A lot of times you'll see them split 2 and 1. Put Eric in one, or either Olaf or Eric in one lane by themselves. They can usually do that pretty well, especially Olaf, because he can back up and heal out. We'll take a look at his, not his fast restart, but his, see, where is that? Oh, I guess you can't really see that. Anyway, he does regenerate health very, very quickly out of combat. Big old fight happening right here. Glarung's going to go down there immediately. Soldier trying to get out of position. Nice Psycho Stitches skin right there. Bottom lane we have KO trying to take something, but actually doesn't grab any of those coins. Dunk Train has all 5 of those. Here's Dreadnought swinging around, hoping for that gank. Maybe if they get the polymorph off, and no, not going to happen right there. So there's King Caffeine getting pulled in, but that's not going to do any good for ETC. He'll just walk right out of there with no follow-up stun. And this is actually kind of interesting out of Tempo Storm here is they have no real follow-up to the stun. I mean, they have a polymorph and maybe a zombie wall, but I mean, that's it to follow up those hooks. They don't have Tyrande, they don't have Uther, they don't have anything like that. So at this point, they only have 3 coins to the 8 of Maelstrom. The Flag and Merc camps will be coming up here momentarily. So hopefully, Tempo Storm can make something happen here. It's going to be pretty close to see. Looks like they're already going after their Mercs as soon as those come up at the 2-minute mark. Whereas Maelstrom picking up both of these flag camps, so that will give them enough coins to turn in. That will give them 11. And Olaf goes down once again, probably to Vala here, taking a couple of pot shots at that. We'll take a little look at our level 4 talents. Vile Cleaver out of Stitches. That is not something that you often see. Arthalon's going to go down there. Baylog, or whatever, however you say that one. Baylog? Something like that. English is not my strong suit. I will be totally honest. I study physics. So, yeah, English and me don't get along. But there's KO trying to go down, do a little bit of damage. iDream waiting for maybe a gank here. If we can get that turn in. Soldier moving into position. Decides to bail a little bit. Nope. Now separated from his team, but with Dunk Train coming in. Oh, the hook! The whirlwind! She needs to whirlwind to get out of there. But the zombie wall is not going to be effective. The whirlwind will keep her alive and make sure that she gets out of there. That hook could have been absolutely amazing. Unfortunately for Tempo Storm, and very fortunately here for iDream, Whirlwind makes her able to move through just about anything. Not buildings, but just about anything else. Looks like Olaf is going to go down there. No, Olaf manages to keep his buddy alive. Manages to keep Balag alive. Here's Biceps fighting it off with Dreadnought in the middle. And Dreadnought's not going to be able to secure any of these coins right here. And there's level 7 for Maelstrom. But level 7 for Tempo Storm immediately following. 5 coins pickup for them there on the bottom. And we have a Healing Ward and Static Charge out of Tassadar, Cleanse out of Brightwing, Cleanse out of Uther. Pretty normal stuff all around. Tenderizer from Stitches to get that little bit of extra CC that they need. Because they have actually very little CC on their team. Hardly any at all, actually. Lost Vikings up at the top lane, just soaking a little bit. And they are starting to pull ahead just a tad here with their soak. That is going to be 5 coins in for Biceps right there. Dunk Train's got another 7 to turn in, but he's just going to go straight for the kill with his team. This is something that you'll see that more players probably need to realize is trying to get the turn in over and over again when the enemy team is right here is not a good idea. Just push them off, do the team fight, then turn around and get that turn in. Usually the better option. So there's the first turn in of our match. Going over to Maelstrom. Unfortunately for them, not a lot of damage done here, so it won't kill this fort. But they did get the Clairvoyance instead of the Mule from Nazeebo, so they're not going to be able to repair that damage. And Tassadar didn't get it either. He did get the Static Charge. Actually, something that they're probably going to end up regretting later in this game as they are falling behind early, and a Mule can do a lot to cancel out a lot of that damage. Olaf goes down. Looks like we are picking up some mercenaries here for Tempo Storm on the bottom. And there's Dreadnought coming forward, and that fort went down immediately. There wouldn't have even been a chance for a Mule to repair that up. There's Dunk Train and iDream on the bottom trying to push back these mercenaries, and there's level 10 for Maelstrom. But it's not going to be, it's only going to be a couple of seconds ahead, and Tempo Storm actually gets a turn in the midst of all this chaos. So that's going to even this up in a big way. There's level 10 for Maelstrom, and now we have those ultimates already coming out. Mosh Pit going down. Divine Storm right there. We have Putrid Bile going off. Dreadnought with the Blink heal, able to get himself out of there. And that was a 3-0 swing in favor of Maelstrom, and they are just running away with this game early. 5 kills to none. 6 already up a fort. And this mid fort's not going to go down. They don't have a Mule either, though, so we'll see what they're able to do. How long they can keep that fort alive. And they already have another turn in. This is more than enough. That's 14 coins right now. They only need 12. And KO is able to actually delay that for just a moment. Maybe enough to prevent the turn in completely. KO with the clutch Psystorm throws it in there and disrupts the turn in. So they really do need to stop that. Only 2 away now for Maelstrom from that second volley. And so if we look at our builds, pretty standard stuff out of ETC, or out of Nazeebo here. Stitch is a little bit wonky with the Vile Cleaver and Tenderizer, letting him spread that damage around and keep people in those poison pools a little bit longer. And Chew Your Food to help out with a little bit more burst healing. Here's the Vikings coming around with their little spin to win. Longboat Raid is going to come into effect here. Arthalon jumping there to keep Eric alive. And here's KO moving down the field. At this point, Vala pretty standard. Multi-shot Rain of Vengeance. There's that Clairvoyance going off in the middle. And Uther with Sprint. That's pretty standard on him as well. Most of the time, you basically just go, oh, Glaurung gets blown up there with the dual ultimates used to lock him down and completely blow him up. That is 6-0 now for Maelstrom. And they are firmly in the lead here. They have that level 13 edge over 12. They have a 1 level lead. And they have this, more importantly, they have this talent tier over their opponents, and they just got another turn in. I mean, they're pushing lanes and they're winning the team fights at the same time. So, like, they're just winning on every front on this match. Looks like level 13 is coming up there for Tempo Storm, picking up their talents as well. Brightwing with an ice block. I don't know if this is going to be worth it, though. And here is the boss coming out of Maelstrom. If Tempo Storm doesn't realize what's going on, I don't know if they are going to last very long in this game. So there's Glaurung, KO, and Soldier moving up to the top lane. Clear out that wave. At least they will have a bit of a push going against this boss. Not a ton. There's Dreadnought split pushing on the bottom. He can teleport to the fight pretty much instantaneously. It's about a... What is it actually? Let's take a look at that cast time. It is a... Oh, it doesn't actually tell me the cast time. But it does have a 45-second cooldown. I think the cast time is about 1.5 seconds or so. Chests are up. Soldier and Glaurung here trying to get that turn in somewhere. iDream taking out these mercenaries before they can do too much more damage to the well and that fort itself. And now we have a big fight going on. Mosh pit, or not mosh pit, stage dive, excuse me, being used right there. Glaurung throwing down the zombie wall on himself to prevent any kind of AO or any kind of skill shot from taking him out of that. But Ancestral healing on Biceps. Now here that longboat goes down immediately without doing any kind of damage. And oh man, Eric goes down right there. Olaf goes down. Then we have 6.5 kills. Soldier was... There goes Baylog. Now Soldier with 7 coins right here. Desperately trying to get away. Why are you throwing up that hook, man? Just walk to your gate and get behind it. There is a lot of... I'm not really sure what's up with this. Oh, I see. It's the Vikings. Those are must be queued up move commands that the Vikings have going for them. And there's one more turn in. That is the 3rd turn in for Maelstrom. And they have a 2-level lead here over Tempo Storm. So this game is getting very, very desperate for Tempo Storm. They haven't even been able to secure 1 kill against this dual support composition, although I may have spoken too soon. King Caffeine's moving forward, but his Rockstar Aura will let him get away just fine. So not having a problem with that. And this level 16 edge right now that that Maelstrom has is going to really hurt Tempo Storm if they have to fight over the turn in. We go at our coins, and they do have more than enough coins to turn in. I believe that is 17 coins. So that'll be it. I believe that was 17. Let's see. 11, 16, 17. Yep. So they have more than enough to turn in. That'll be 2 more right here from these mercenaries on the bottom. And we'll see what Tempo Storm can do here. Looks like iDream dumping those in. Nunk Train as well. They need to move King Caffeine in here to get that last coins that they need. There goes the shark. I'm surprised he actually lasted this long, jumping off there into the water. Freed from those sadistic ropes, keeping him down. Clairvoyance going off here for both teams. All over the map, giving that little bit of extra vision. And now we have a big team fight here that Maelstrom was very prepared for and Tempo Storm was not. There's Dreadnought getting off the majority of that Ravenous Spirit, but it's just not enough at this point. Here's Arthalon turning around. Biceps may be the first kill for Tempo Storm here, and he will finally be the first kill for Tempo Storm. So they managed to turn that around and pull 1 kill off of Maelstrom. Get their level 16 tier as well. Let's take a look at what Stitches is doing. Relentless and Pulverize. So this stun is almost always too good to give up. That you'll hardly ever see anything else taken. Other than that, his build is fairly interesting with a Relentless. Yeah, and this Tenderizer, Vile Cleaver combination to get that little bit of extra damage on his opponents. And the burst healing from Chew Your Food. It's not something that you'll see super often. There's King Caffeine coming down. Trying to get a stop off. We have Critterize to increase the amount of damage your team does to your polymorph targets. Immortality build here from Tassadar with the double dimensional shift. Sounds right there. There's King Caffeine stuck in the wall. Now with the zombie wall coming out, he might die right there. That'll be 3 coins to Tempo Storm. So can they turn this game around? So far, they are on a 2-0 run in kills. Although with iDream moving around, oh, jukes the hook just off to the side, and we'll see what they can end up doing. Taking some mercenaries here, probably a good choice. And so that should finally take out this bottom fort But at this point, I mean, that turn-in, that's their second turn-in only in this game, and we are pretty late. Both teams at level 18. Someone needs to pick up this coin right here. I think Dreadnought's going for it. Nope, Stitches is coming down and get it. Good choice to give it to your warrior. A little bit tankier, especially Stitches with the build he is gone. Can really hold on, or really do quite a bit of damage. Take quite a bit of damage, excuse me. And hold those coins pretty effectively. Should probably pick up the flag camp here. Looks like Glarung is on that. Dreadnought helping him out just a tad, and I think Dreadnought might be the one to pick those up. With his blink heal, he's able to get in and out of those team fights a lot easier than Glarung can. A little bit more survivable as well. Take a look at their respective health. Glarung does have more, but Brightwing heals himself all the time. And now we have the second boss here trying to be taken by Maelstrom. They took it a little bit earlier. I think they realized Tempo Storm is onto them. They're sniffing out something a little bit strange. So they are going to go for this. There's Soldier and King Caffeine having a bit of a warrior slap fest going on. And if King Caffeine doesn't move, he's going to get separated by his team, but put in a very bad position. Oh man, Arthlon here using those, trying to use those Vikings to the best of his ability. I'm not sure how much that ended up working out for him. Both teams are pretty dead even here, and Tempo Storm has actually evened this game out quite a bit. Maelstrom still has one more fort. Here comes Dunk Train trying to get those last 3 coins, and I believe they did get one of them. And here comes a big old fight. Soldier throwing down the putrid bile, just throwing out the damage everywhere, and there is King Caffeine trying to disrupt the Maelstrom, or not the Maelstrom, the Ravenous Spirit. But he got critterized right there before he could do anything about that. And we just have all of the kinds of this long, drawn-out battles. There goes Olaf. There goes Balog. And I think that might be it. There goes Soldier down as well. And that's about a 1.5 1.5 hero swing there. Back. So that ends that 2-0 run by Tempo Storm and responds with a nice counter as well. Very good response from Maelstrom to answer those 2 kills. And at this point, they have 9, 17, 20 coins. They got 19 coins, so they have more than enough for another turn-in. And at this point, this fort is going to go down, and it actually might kill 2 keeps here. Oh, this is really, really bad for Tempo Storm with this turn-in. That very well could kill 2 keeps. That's going to come very close. So the levels will be even, but at this point, Maelstrom will have their win condition fulfilled. Well, not fulfilled, but they will have a win condition open to them. They can push through the middle of the lane here, take the core, and take the game, whereas Tempo Storm has to go through most of the inner base, actually all of the inner base in one lane before they can get to that keep, before they can get to that core. Dreadnought picking up a couple of more coins, and they did forget one right there. I kind of wish those would sit a little bit more, so it did take out that top fort, that top keep as well. And now Tempo Storm is in a pretty desperate situation. They need level 20 before they can move in there. We have Storm Shield, Hardened Shield coming out of Sonia. That's a very interesting one, especially with Bolt coming here, so they are turning her into a little bit more of a tank. So you can see the build that she went for here was her slam build. Trying to help out with those. You can see her ability here, her seismic slam. There goes Stitches down, separated from his team, and just collapsed on by all 5 members of Maelstrom. But this seismic slam build, she got most of those talents. Allows her to dish out tons and tons of sustained damage without a lot of trouble. And there Maelstrom goes, taking out the boss right there. We have Mercenaries pushing along the bottom for Tempo Storm, but it's probably a little bit too little, too late here in this fight. This coin is still sitting there. It's been sitting there for about 2 minutes now. So you have Glarung and Dreadnought moving back, and here comes that boss down the top lane. We'll see if Maelstrom just decides to push with it or what they want to do. They have, between all of them, they have 7, 10, 13 coins. So they not nearly enough for that turn. And they're just going to go pick up this coin that Tempo Storm left there. I wonder if that's going to be the coin that ends the game for them. So this shark right here just hanging out, being like, man, my big buddy over here got to jump out. Why can't I jump out? He's just stuck there with that big old hook in his mouth. I actually don't know if that one comes off. Do you guys know if this shark falls off of that hook if you hit it? I'm not actually sure. I mean, I know this one does, but I'm not sure about this shark. If this one falls off, somebody get in the game and damage that thing and see if it jumps off. So here's that boss coming down. Tempo Storm did manage to kill it before too much, before it did too much damage. I don't think it did anything to the actual hull, but it did take out about half the shields or so. Will this be enough coins? They have 5 right here that'll only give them 12 to turn in. There's another 3 from K1 Pro. So that's not nearly enough coins for them to turn in. Dreadnought here holding that 7. If they get a hold of those, it is game over. Tempo Storm now with their level 20 as well. We have Ragnarok and Roll, Twilight Archon, Rewind, Hardened Shields on Stitches, trying to make him a little bit tankier. And the increased Ravenous Spirit for that little bit of extra damage. So Tempo Storm has actually only gotten 2 turn-ins here. This won't even be enough for a third. Maybe if they take this Siege Giant Camp, that'll be enough. They have 8 in. They need 6 more. So there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This will give them barely enough. However, Maelstrom is just going for it. They're just charging straight down the middle lane. And Tempo Storm realizes what's going on, knows they need to hearth back and prevent that core from being completely pulverized. So good map presence to know what Maelstrom was planning and to hearth back and stop it. Unfortunately for them, nice timing for Maelstrom on those chests coming up. And now they do have enough coins to turn in, crush this bottom lane, and just make it extremely difficult for Tempo Storm to come out. Looks like Glaurung's getting into a position for a Spirit here. But Maelstrom backing it off. Not going to happen today. Glaurung still waiting for that Spirit. Still waiting for that team fight to happen. But that will not come up today. And there's those 6 coins that Tempo Storm needs for this turn-in. We'll see if they can do it. Maelstrom rotating around from the bottom lane, trying to contest this turn-in. They do have 8. Now they have more than enough. They have 13 here. Well, actually, they have more than 13. They got way more than enough to turn in. I don't know if it's going to be enough. There's 13. Oh, that's 7. If K1 Pro had gotten that in, the game would have been very close to over. There's Ravenous Spirit coming out. Divine Hurricane comes up. And Glaurung trying to get his Ravenous Spirit off, but King Caffeine says, no way. Just runs right over there and stops that. No one has died quite yet. But if we take a look at the health from each team, take a look up here at the green bars. Stitches fairly low, and Tempo Storm just all around much lower on health than Maelstrom. It'll be interesting to see. They are dropping a new patch tomorrow at the time of casting this. King Caffeine gets healed up right there. And there goes Balog down. There goes Stitches. And there goes Olaf. iDream might go down here. So KO does manage to get 1 kill off right there for their efforts. But this last turn-in is going to be more than enough. We do have some Giants pushing this bottom lane right here. So as I was saying, Maelstrom really likes this dual support meta that is going on, especially using Rhaegar and Uther. Tempo Storm in the next game definitely needs to take one of these for themselves. Try and split them up. There's Glaurung taking a Divine Hurricane to the face. And Nazeebo pushing forward as well. KO taking a couple of pot shots here and there with his Archon. But Dreadnought is running for his life there. And with the blink from Vala going to go down. And with only KO alive to defend, I think Tempo Storm might be surrendering it right here. There comes the Vikings out. But one longboat raid, I don't know if that's going to be enough to save this core. Definitely will not be enough as this core goes down. And Maelstrom takes a 2-1 lead in this best of 5 series. So these Giants did end up killing that fort, but you can lose a fort to take a core. You can do that every single time. And as I was saying, they are, at the time of casting this, they are dropping a new patch tomorrow. And what Blizzard has said about that patch is they want to nerf this dual support meta that has kind of developed, especially Uther give him different abilities in his ghost form so that he's not able to just use his Divine Hurricane with impunity without anyone being able to stun him or knock him back or stop him. And it'll be interesting to see what they come up with tomorrow. And my guess is that once that patch drops, if they do make significant changes to the meta, you'll see Maelstrom drop off a little bit. And you'll see Tempo Storm actually make a resurgence and really climb to the top. Mostly just because they don't like to run dual supports a lot of the time. They like to run initiation and damage. So we'll see if they continue that trend in the next match. And if Maelstrom is able to keep Uther and Rhaegar together, if I was Tempo Storm in the next match, I would draft one of these two and make sure that they cannot be picked early. So either ban or draft one of them, because they have just been completely dominating Tempo Storm in a lot of the fights. You see 15-3 here on those kills, and if we take a look at our healing, just 80,000 healing here to 45,000. So even Brightwing doing less than the secondary support, or almost doing less than the secondary support from Maelstrom. So hope you guys enjoyed that, and we will see you later.